Hey guys, Andrew with Hilliker Holster Co. And right now I'm sitting in front of our laser station. So last summer we bought a fiber laser to move some of our laser production requirements in-house. We used to order clips and ship them to other manufacturers. We'd have to wait for them to laser them and then ship them back. What we wanted to do is move that process in-house so we could have a better control over the entire holster making process. But what we found out quickly is this can do a lot more than just laser a plastic clip. What you've probably seen online and what we're going to talk about in this video is actually how we learn to custom laser engrave magazines. So we do Glock mags, we also do PMAGs, and we're going to show you on a high level overview, so summarized, because there's a lot more that goes into it that would be probably kind of boring, but how we turn this, a plain black magazine, into something like this, which is our chocolate chip camo mag, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So for starters, this is a fiber laser, not a CO2 laser. Those are two very different things. They have two very different purposes. For what we needed, we chose to go with a fiber laser. Now this fiber laser specifically is an Ohmtech. It's 50 watts and it's a Galvo laser. There's Galvo and MOPA fiber lasers. If you want to know the difference between those two, you can look them up. But every laser is going to have different settings. So what we're showing you today is not going to apply unless you have this exact laser in our exact setup. Every material is different, every laser is different. A 20 watt, 30 watt, 40 watt, 80 watt is going to have different power, frequency, and speed settings to accomplish whatever you're wanting to do. So when we first bought this, there was a lot of trial and error. We went through a lot of mags, we went through a lot of clips to figure out what settings worked for us, and then we could save that in our documents to keep forever. But every laser is different, every scenario is different, so this is just what works for us. So right now we're looking at a program called Lightburn. That is the program that we use to run the actual laser itself. The laser is made up of two parts. You have this actual laser optical head part, and then underneath the workbench is a tower. But right here is our workspace, and we are looking at our chocolate chip camo magazine here, and we have here in the upper right hand corner are all of our layers. So this camo is 4 layers, so we can toggle these on and off to make them go away or appear. And when we built the actual camo pattern itself, we did that in Photoshop, and each one of these different colors is a separate layer that we had to separate out in Photoshop, import separately into Lightburn, because they all have different settings because they're different colors. Double click on the first layer, we can see all of the different settings that make up the color of this camo that we discovered. So we have like speed, power, frequency, number of passes, etc. There's a bunch of other settings that we had to really dial in. I'm not going to explain them all because it's going to take way too long, but you can pretty much change the color in which you are engraving with the speed, power, number of passes, and the line interval is very important. All the others are dialing in to make it look nice, but those are the main 4 that will change the actual color in which you are pulling out of the plastic. So there are only, let's see, you can engrave, grays, you can almost get white depending on the substrate that you are laser engraving, tans, browns, and that's about it. You got about 4 color options, so you can't engrave in color. There are certain lasers that can do that. What we have, you cannot. So we just found a combination of settings to make different colored browns for this chocolate chip camo. So what I can show you here is the way we discovered different colors for different settings is we just took the actual magazine right in front of me and laser engraved a bunch of different squares. And these were various different settings that we were trying to find colors that we liked or colors that were matching with that specific camo. So we can do that really fast. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a square in our program. And that will create a new layer down here in layer 5. We're gonna fill it. and then we can just input a random setting. We can make it somewhat close to what we're already working with, just so we have an idea of something that's like actually going to look good. So we'll go 4,000 speed, 6 power, 60 power. Frequency will be 50. These I just kind of know from what I've done before, and we'll just do 2 passes. We'll click OK. So now this orange square is going to be sent out to the actual laser, and we can laser engrave that into a magazine and see what it looks like. That was one color. If we wanted to do a different color, we can just double click the same box and change the parameters. So we'll do 8,000 speed, just kidding, 7,000 speed. We'll go 40% power. We'll change this to 0.08, and we'll go 3 passes. And then we can run that and see what that color looks like. And you can save, like we have a library here of browns, grays, tans. These are our settings that we have been able to discover that work for us and look nice. So like for example, if I click dark gray here, these are the settings to make a dark gray color. So I know that's not much of an instructional video, but it's just people don't understand how we turn a black magazine into something with a bunch of different patterns on it. And essentially what we're doing is we are bringing out the colors in the pigment of the plastic. So in this example, we are using KCI mags. Every magazine is different. They all look different. So a regular Glock mag is going to be different settings. A metal mag is going to be different settings. But this is a giant bucket of trial and error. So we have burned through a lot of magazines and fucked up a lot of product trying to find things that look good and actually look representative of the camo that we are trying to recreate. Now these are all still perfectly functional. They're regular magazines. They just look like shit and we won't sell them. Like this is our black frog skin. So every time we make a new pattern, we have to redial settings and form the camo in Photoshop, size it correctly, and then hopefully not burn through too much product to make it actually look nice. Making the chocolate chip mag, if I remember correctly, that took like 12 magazines in 4 hours. But the final product is pretty badass. So a fiber laser, you can laser clips, you can cut Tegris. A 50 watt and up can cut thin pieces of wood, maybe metal, but you can also make custom magazines, which is what we wanted to do when we bought it. We wanted to move the other stuff, but this is really what we had in mind because not very many people are doing this. So check them out, hillikerholstercode.com. We have various designs in Glock mags and various designs in our PMAGs. Currently we have Black Tiger, Chocolate Chip, Topo, and a bunch of other cool patterns. So check it out, hillikerholstercode.com. If you have any questions about the laser itself, because this video wasn't super informative, I just wanted to show you what we could do. Let us know down in the comments below. We can try to make a more in-depth, boring video later if that's of interest. But until then, thanks for watching and buy some shit. Thanks, bye.